my kids yet, so
Oh, wow.
they're gonna introduce them to them.
Let me see here. Did I get that? Okay. Okay, everybody, welcome to All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection. This is a networking group for military veterans, first responders, their families, and anybody who wants to do business with us, network with us, and that's kind of the going theme around here. So for the next 55 minutes or so, we start each meeting with a moment of silence, then the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the national anthem. Talk just a little bit about what the scuttlebutt.club is and how to use it if you want to use it to submit information about your Spotlight speaker spot. And you can also use it to invite members. It has our Zoom registration link on there. And then we'll have our business briefs and then a hero highlight on our Spotlight speaker, which today is going to be Mike. Mike, I don't have a slide for your hero highlights, so if you want to add something to show us, that would be great. And then we end the meeting with an inspirational thought and announcements and reminders. So let's kick it off here with a moment of silence. Now for the Pledge of Allegiance. If you are able to stand, this is a good time to do that.
I pledge
I pledge
allegiance to
allegiance
the
to the
flag
flag
of the
of the
United
United
States of
States of
America
America
and to
and
the
to the
to the
republic
republic
for which
republic
it
for
for
which
which it
stands,
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 one
one
nation,
one
nation,
under
nation,
under
God,
God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
indivisible,
liberty and
liberty and
justice for
justice
all.
for all.
Now for the national anthem. Can everyone hear?
Not yet.
Please stand
Yes.
and place your hand over your heart for the national anthem
No.
sung by the U.S. Army Chorus.
I can hear it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So if you go to the scuttlebutt.club, it will take you to this landing page where you can find the Zoom registration link, all the information for our meetings, the meeting agenda. That also has a link to our Spotlight speaker form. It has a link to schedule a one-to-one with me, also our Facebook group or YouTube channel, and our Alignable group. And now this would be the time for our our hero highlight, which I'm going to stop sharing so we can all see each other. And I will turn this part of the meeting over to Terry. We'll just do the regular 1 minute each since we've got Mike lined up.
Righty. I lost Mary Bibb. Oh, she's still there. Okay. All righty. Well, happy Monday, everyone. Hope you have a great weekend. And I don't know about you, but it is really hot here in North Carolina. So it's an indoor day thing today. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Natalie. Natalie. I was trying to get the mute off on my picture. That didn't work. Good morning. No, good afternoon. Good to be here with you. I missed last week because a short appointment turned into a 2-hour appointment, which was fun, but I wasn't home. So I hope you had a great meeting last week. I am working toward a goal of helping 1,000 families be healthy. So I need a team for that. So if you know somebody that's looking for a side income, or maybe they're not happy with their MLM or something along that line, I would be delighted to speak with them. One of the things that is exciting that we're working with right now, I might have showed you this a couple weeks ago, but I don't remember if I did. It's called Life Plus. It's a biocell liquid bioactive collagen with hyaluronic acid and wonderful things. Too bad I can't talk more about it.
Set up a one-to-one.
Got set up a one-to-one. That's right. Okay, let's go with Mary Ann.
Good morning, everybody. So some of you know that I actually run 3 brands. I have 3 companies that I actually work with, and that I own, 2 of which I own. I'm going to put 2 links in the chat. If you're not following my Lana Lou Books company, I would appreciate it. We've got 13 coloring books on Amazon, left-handed, landscape, and others, and I'm just about to release a special series for tween and teen girls, talking about self-confidence and helping them to really be able to be having the life that they want. And I'd love for people to share some of our new content and options that we have for that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yep,
everyone, make
good.
sure I'm sorry, go ahead, Mary Ann.
Nope, that was it. I'm going to put links in the chat, and if you would follow our Lana Lou Books Facebook page and our Instagram account and share any of the content that would be relevant to people you know. We also have a LinkedIn company page for her as well.
Okay. Yes, everybody, please put your information in the chat so we can serve you better. Okay, let's go with Melissa. Melissa, you went in and you went out last week, so we're glad to have you back.
Glad to be back. My name is Melissa. I am a proud wealth builder, and we are helping to serve families and military families abroad, making sure that we are helping them where they park their money, with whether it be mitigating taxes, saving on fees, and getting them into helping with market risk as well. So we can help a family out from A to Z to make sure that they're fully umbrellaed. And we do this through teaching the new art of living. And I love what I do, and I'm happy and proud to serve all of my families and my businesses and military around me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Okay, let's go with Mary.
Did you know that people know how much they make, but a lot of them don't know how much they keep? I am Money Coach Mary RN, a nurse by education, a coach by calling, and founder of All Glory Coaching. I help individuals figure out why their money is doing what it's doing. I help them get organized so that their paycheck starts to work for them instead of the other way around. If you are in the St. Louis area, I am holding a free workshop on the 16th at Cliffview Library at 6 p.m. It's called Budgeting Made Simple. It's to help you start to get your budget organized. I am Money Coach Mary RN.
Thank you, Mary. All right, let's go with Ruben, who's on the lake right now on a sailboat.
I just finished this painting, guys. It's a gentleman that was an American artist back in the, he passed away in the 1500s, but I liked his techniques. And so what I did, I modified it. I added a few more sailboats to make it kind of mine. And I'm using it in a promo. I put the link in the chat. You'll see basically all the art that I do. I paint with veterans. They paint to heal. I paint to market. So I try to show them how to market their artwork on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, all you have to do is just type in Kirill, my last name, _ arts, ARTS, and you'll see what I'm doing there. Thank you.
That's great, Ruben. Okay, let's go with Salvatore.
I'm Salvatore. I'm from New York, Long Island, and I'm an insurance broker. I do different types of insurance except for auto. I don't do auto. I'm also a proud father of two twin babies, and they're 1 year old, a boy and a girl, of course. And I help with families with with financial needs and create strategies.
Anything else? Where are you from?
I'm in Long Island, New York, Riverhead.
Long Island, New York.
Thank
Okay,
you,
you made
Laura.
Okay, all righty. Well, thank you. Let's go with
Yeah.
Kurt.
There it is again. That gives me good energy. Every time I hear it, you're all welcome to say that. Let's go with Kurt. I am Kurt Roscoff, aka Special K, here to brighten up your day. So let's get underway. I'm a podcaster, folks. And tonight we have our Ritual Mission Monday podcast that is at 6:15 Central check-in time. Behind the scenes in the green room, we go live at 6:30. What a great show. I put in the chat a YouTube link for a TV show I was on today. I'm an ambassador with Project iHeart. We combat veteran suicide by spreading hope to veterans. And other than that, if you don't know what Greg Boone is doing on our network, you don't understand my business at all. So check it out, folks. Back to you.
Great, thanks, Kurt. All right, let's go. Speaking of Greg, let's go with Greg.
All right. Excuse me. I'm a firm believer that our pets should not only live longer, they should feel better as well. Hello, I'm Greg Boone. I'm a veteran, an author, and I am passionate about helping our pets live longer, healthier lives. And I'm currently on a mission to help rescue horses from slaughter. If you'd like to help me, you can call your senator and urge them to get the SAFE Act, Save America's Forgotten Equine Act, on the 2026 Farm Bill. Thank you.
Great. Let's go with Santa Papa.
Ho, 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 folks. How are we doing? I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I'm Santa Papa John. I put smiles on people's faces. I read stories. It's Life Lesson Monday, which means I got another life lesson coming out. If you haven't seen them, you better check it out in a little while. They're about 45 to 50 seconds long, and they tell you to smile more. But I also have another website, folks, for our veterans. Thank you to all our veterans that are on here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. I say that every day, and I mean it, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have all this fun that Ruben enjoys and Terry enjoys doing every day, because we share our happiness, because we're grateful because of what you guys have done for us. So the Warriors Beacon of Hope, is a website that I'm putting together. I'm building a list of services, scholarships, meetings, and soon veteran discount travel plans. So
Wow.
you'll be able to get discounts if you're veterans. So check it out. Warriors Beacon of Hope, and I'm Santa Papa John. Back
Great.
to you,
Thanks,
Terry.
Santa. Let's go with Barry.
Hey folks, Barry Street here from Palm Beach, Florida, in the alternative health and wellness business. You know, it was just a couple of years ago that Duke University came out with a finding that in the average 1 liter bottle of water, there was 250,000 nanoplastics, so small you can't detect them, can't taste them. But when they get into the bloodstream, they get into organs and they begin to orient cancer. And so far, doctors, surgeons have found nanoplastics in every organ of the human body that they have done surgery on in the last 2 years. Unfortunately, I have some really bad news for you. The latest report from a leading MD says that now the nanoplastics are in our waterways, and they're in our wells and in our municipal water systems, and they cannot be detected. So it's comforting to know that my company makes devices that gives you the healthiest water around, free of nanoplastics, free of any toxins you can. Why? Because your health is your ultimate wealth.
Thank you, Barry. Okay, Mike, you want to give us a teaser?
Sure, I'll just spend a minute clearing my throat. Now, I'll just give you the little commercial here. Da-da, that's what I do. Well, in case it's too small on your screen, I'm a certified world-class speaking coach. What does that mean to you? Not much. What it means is that, okay, listen, you're in business. You're in the business of promoting your business. So a lot of people here who have services to support your business, but you have got to be the face and voice of your business. And most people are squandering that opportunity. Either by, well, you know, they don't understand what I do, so the faster I talk, the sooner they'll understand it. And after you've confused them in half the time, you got plenty of time left over to put up some PowerPoints that they don't understand. You still have one more obstacle to get over, is that people don't always have faith in a solo business owner. And that's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to establish yourself as an industry leader. That's where I come in as a speaking coach. You'll learn more about that in a few minutes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mike.
World peace for all the children. I love that music.
He's so funny. Alrighty. Well, my name is Terry Moore, and I am a national and international keynote speaker. I speak on empowerment, on how to help women and men become the person that they've always wanted to become, but they don't know how to get out of the rut that they're in, or they're stuck from people that maybe have said things to them and made them feel worthless or hardly any self-esteem. So I come in and help transform you from the inside out. And this week I'm looking for church leader referrals. So if you go to a church and you have a woman ministry leader, I would love to have a connection, because I want to be on stages more and more and more this fall. And then also, I keep saying this, but it's my film producer's fault, but my movie will be coming out hopefully in June, finally, with everything attached to it. And the other thing is I'm just looking for more clients that want to have more breakthroughs in their life to help them to become the person that they were created to be. But however, somewhere along the line, someone or a circumstance messed them up. So that's what I'm looking for. Thank you. All right, turn it over to Miss Angela.
Yeah, and I am Angela, and I teach people how money works. But I have a question for you. Have you ever met somebody, or have you ever been through a divorce, or you have a loved one who's been through a divorce? Would you leave your money in your ex's bank account, or would you recommend that your loved one leave their money in their ex's bank account? No. Well, if you know somebody who's lost a job, who has an old 401k that's sitting in an old account, that's exactly what they're doing. They're leaving their money in their ex's account. So I would love a referral to that loved one of yours and be able to help them to roll that money over into something that's going to continue to work for them, but that has the safety of any from any downward economic things that are happening right now in our world. So I'd love to be able to help them. And also, if you know anybody that has a brand new baby coming, love to help them get their fun setup for their grandchild, for their child. So, but thank you so much. By the way, I do have a grandbaby coming. I'm super excited. If anybody saw that or not, but I'm ready. It's a grandson. I haven't had a boy in the family since my 24-year-old was born.
Congratulations.
So we are ready. We are ready. All right. So I am slowly but surely adding people to our map. Can you see my map here? So I am going to be adding now. Now, Mike, I have a little problem because I got to put you off the map. Mike is down in Costa Rica. Is that right?
Let him in the water south of Florida.
Yeah, that's
There
what
you
I'll
go.
do.
Don't deport me to
That's what
Cuba.
I'll
Come
do.
on, what did I ever do to you?
And somebody
didn't
we
say
had last
Cuba.
week, I've got to get her put here. But if you're not on here, please let me know and I can add you. I know we need to add Sal on here now and Natalie. I need to put Natalie on here. So
Natalie's in Michigan.
yeah.
What about Milwaukee?
I'm gonna Milwaukee. Oh yeah, Kurt. Kurt's in Milwaukee. Okay, so I will figure out
Yeah.
those added on.
Schmiel, Schmazel, Haas of Pfeffer Incorporated. Da, 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 da.
Anybody here not know what we're talking about?
Miss that show.
Yeah,
So funny,
it's
'cause sometimes
on
I'll
all
say
the
something like
time.
that to young people, and I'm like, "Look, y'all are not around for this," and they're like, they look at me like I have two heads. It's very nice to say that, and people go, "Yeah, I know what that show is."
Yeah.
Makes me not feel as old as I am.
Mike, do you need to share a screen?
Yes, I will share a few slides. It won't be a pure slideshow, but I will share a few slides.
All right. Well, I just made you a co-host, so you should.
All right, party on.
All right. So I'm going to turn this part of the meeting over to Mike, who we were just talking about, is down in Costa Rica. And if you no, wait.
Peru.
That's why did I say Costa Rica?
I was there once too.
Right.
He's a little further south than that.
Which is down close to, it's in South America.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, if you have not had a one-to-one with Mike, I highly encourage you to, because he is just, he's so enjoyable to get to know and you can learn so much from him. So I'm going to stop talking and turn this part of the meeting. Santa Papa John, can you give us 15 minutes? Okay. All right. Go for it, Mike.
Well, thanks for that, Angela. And considering that we are either proud to be the veterans or military supporters, it's a great day to mention that this past Saturday was the 82nd anniversary of D-Day. If you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan, yeah, that. And back in those days, around that time, now my grandfather, Joe McQuillen Sr., was not at Normandy, but he was already on the beaches in Italy fighting in World War II. And I think about those times. I think about anytime we have an opportunity to pay homage to the people who fought for our country and the people who played a supporting role all at the same time. This is a great day to do it, and this is a great group to do it with, because the people who served as veterans and the people in supporting roles are equally as important. And nothing is better than this story about my grandfather and my Uncle Larry. See, my grandfather was drafted just a few months after my father was born. Should have gotten a deferment, but deferments back then were based more on economic level than immediate family need. So Joe Sr. went off to train, and he was in Italy. And just about the time, you think the country would support its people fighting overseas, but just about the time that my grandfather was laying on the battlefield and being read his last rites, the landlord back in Brooklyn wanted to move my grandmother out. It was a rent-controlled apartment, and if she gets moved out, he could charge the new tenant more money. Thankfully, my great uncle Larry, who I never met, was there, and he persuaded the landlord. Apparently, legend has it, he put a gun to the landlord's head and said, "You are not going to move Eleanor out of that apartment." Uncle Larry was stateside to make sure the family was taken care of. A few years later, back in 1946, my father's just 4 years old, looking out the window of the apartment, and he sees Uncle Larry side by side with a very handsome American soldier. And he looked out and said, "Is that my daddy?" Apparently, when that field chaplain was reading my grandfather his last rites, he said, "God is calling." Joe Sr. said, "Tell him I'm not home. I got things to do." Little quinine supplements, he survived and he came back. And then Joe Sr. and Uncle Larry were quite the terror in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Now, Uncle Larry was a wild man. They both went to work on the docks and the shore. They were longshoremen in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Now, Uncle Larry's wife used to have to go Friday afternoon to grab Larry from the docks, bring him home, make sure he didn't go down to Fifth Avenue and drink away his paycheck. Now, she was nearsighted, or she farsighted. She was farsighted. So up close, she couldn't see Uncle Larry's face too clearly. But she could tell Uncle Larry by his walk. Uncle Larry had this certain swagger to him, a certain gangster walk to him, to the point that when Larry knew she was coming, he would change his gait up to this penguin walk to scoot by her to get down to Fifth Avenue, but she usually grabbed onto him. Fast forward 50 years. Now it's family day on Paris Island. We're about to meet the families, and the drill instructor says, "You, McQuillen, go back and shave." I had a little stubble, had to be clean shaven to meet the families. So if you've ever been to Paris Island, you know that the grandstand is in front of the parade deck, and on the far end is 1st Battalion. And I'm walking out of the squad bay about a quarter mile away from the barracks, from the grandstand. And my father looks off in the distance, and he said, "Hey, look, that's Mike." I was about a quarter mile away. I hadn't seen my family in about 3 months. I've got a high-end tight buzz cut, Marine Corps uniform, slightly different upper body from doing push-ups, a lot of push-ups. So how did he recognize me from so far away after such a long time looking so different? It was the walk. It was Uncle Larry's gangster walk. Somehow I inherited that. I never met Larry, and my family has come a long way from Brooklyn. Okay, not too far from Salvatore, grew up on the mean streets of Massapequa on Long Island. We've come a long way from hustling in Brooklyn and running with the Legs Diamond crew and duking it out with a Brooklyn slumlord. But the walk never went away. That gangster strut. And how does that translate to what we do? In business, especially in solo businesses, when it comes to presenting a business and speaking, I see so many people try to be more refined, try to be more perfect, try to be more correct, because we think that corporate boardrooms and conference rooms and TED Talks, where every word is scripted and every movement is staged, is the right way to speak. But in promoting your business, my challenge to you is this: are you keeping your strut? Do you still have the gangster strut? Can you separate formal from professional? Can you keep that professionalism while still being your real, genuine self? And it's not enough to just say the word authenticity. In fact, a lot of people go to ChatGPT to get that authenticity message. So the way to do that is in how you present yourself, what information you choose to tell that audience, and what stories you choose to tell. In my story about Uncle Larry, it was more about Uncle Larry, my grandfather, than it was about me, but you learned a whole lot about me, didn't you? So in this time we have together, I want to compare what you see in most presentations and give you a few ideas on the kind of stories you can tell, long before you tell your story. You want to tell your backstory, what makes you so special? Absolutely, but first you have to earn it. You have to earn it by engaging that audience to figure out, who is this person? Who is this guy with the water bottle? Who is this woman with so many children in the I want to know that. You've got to build that mystique first. I want to show you what most people do. I'm not accusing anybody in this room, although You've probably seen it. This is what most people do to start up their presentation. Let's talk about me. Yes, I'm a thought leader, meaning everything I think is more important than what you think. And I am a high performer. Now, when I was a kid, I had a paper route. And after the paper route, I used to go to Honey's candy store. And I used to play for $2. I get a Dr. Pepper for 75 cents, a Milky Way for 50, and then 3/4 to play pinball. And I was a high performer on that Cyclone pinball machine. If that's what it means to be a high performer, then count me in. But I would never lead off a presentation with that. Nor would I lead off with a Fugazi title like a Chief Excellency Officer. And I'm an award-winning speaker. Mind you, if you're in Toastmasters, everybody's an award-winning speaker. I've got ribbons all over the place and certificates. But this is my favorite. I met Tony Robbins once. He said, "Hi, nice to meet you." Somehow that goes in the feed. And then, if my self-anointed credentials aren't enough, I've got some real tangible ones too. That's right, I'm a certified excellency coach. I hope you're impressed because I printed this one in Canva. Not only that, I'm an author. Damn, I'm good. A modest memoir, but good news. When I released this book, I put her on Amazon for 99 cents. I got a few of my friends and family to buy it. I put her in an obscure category, and now I'm a best-selling author. What they didn't tell you is that in this hour we spend together, 16,000 books will be on the Amazon bestseller list. 100 books in 160 categories every hour, 24/7, 365.25, counting for leap year. Now, if you wrote a book, good for you. Tell me about what's in it, not the fact that you sold it on Amazon for $1. Same thing, I am a TEDx speaker. Okay, people are so quick to showcase their credentials. But what really matters, the only credential that matters, is your genuine concern for other people. There are other networking groups when you get to hard pitch and hustle your product in front of people. This is one group where really heart-centered to get to know each other. You know what? I've spun off business from this group. I've met clients here, and you've never heard me hard pitch. You've never heard me hustle. We have a genuine, heartfelt connection when we come here. And that's why I don't feel bad making fun of the thought leaders and the humana and I'm so good, I'm so great. Here are some of the stories that belong in your story file. Before you tell the big one, before you tell the story of why you walked away from the paycheck to start your own business, here are some other stories that are a lot lighter, a lot more fun to tell, and a lot more relatable to your audience. Now, you're probably wondering, why would you be handwriting on paper in front of a typewriter? I don't know. What I do know is I paid $3 for this image on Shutterstock, so we're going with it. Number one is a modest success story. I already told you I had the highest score on the Cyclone pinball game at Hundy's Candy Store. I told you I had a paper route when I was 12. I was a good pinball player, and I knew how to manage a budget. I get to tell you a little something about myself, but it didn't sound like I was boasting, did it? Do you have a modest success that's almost laughable? Around the time I had that paper route, I also won the school spelling bee. And there's an incredible lesson in that, in how I won the spelling bee. The girl who came in runner-up didn't want to win. She sabotaged on the word phonics because she didn't want the attention. And I use that as a metaphor in business and how most people don't want the attention. They shy from the spotlight. Olivia, my runner-up, she had that luxury. You don't. All tied into a very modest success story. I'm getting the short version. I'm going to go through this quickly. Gratitude is easy to say, thou shalt have gratitude. If you have a story where you discover your gratitude, when first you play the victim, it's so much fun. You have no idea what you're missing out on. If you don't get in front of that audience and throw a mini temper tantrum and say, poor me, as long as you come out of that story grateful, you can be as miserable as you want when you start. But just to say, you should be grateful, I don't know. That doesn't do it for me. Maybe you, I don't know. And here's another one. I used to believe, and I encourage you to write this down. I used to do this in a PDF, a fillable PDF, but then I realized how many PDFs I have in my hard drive that I never look at. But you handwrite it, you'll remember it. I used to believe this, but now I realize that. Let your audience see your learning process. Your knowledge gets you nowhere. I have another story about that. It involves me entering a contest to get a free tattoo on my butt, but this is short term and there are ladies present. Anyway, that's what your knowledge is good for. You want to hear the whole thing, come to my next workshop. I used to believe this. In the fitness world, I always tell people, I used to believe that golf was a low impact sport until I started training clients who played golf. Turns out 18 holes, rotating that light little stick 270 degrees to drive that little ball a couple hundred yards, times 18 holes plus the short game, prolonged standing, long walking, visits from the beverage cart, takes its toll on the body. I learned something. And when people see your learning process, they're vulnerable to learn from you too. Once you own up, they sign up. These are 3 stories that must be in your story portfolio. You get a whole lot of autobiography in there too. Okay, here are some, I'm going to go through this quickly. A good example you look up to. The only thing better than a good example, a bad example. If I had a different theme, I would definitely give you an example of a bad speech. I've got lots of them. Okay, sometime a reality check. When this is beyond the misconception when somebody pulled their punk card on you. Going to encourage you to screenshot this, write them down, and put these. And next time you speak, I'm challenging you to put one of these stories in there. And once you do, the way to tell the story is 3 levels of conflict. Okay, whatever the conflict is, you want to raise that conflict, and there's an internal conflict to go with it. We don't have time to go over that, but there are resources I can steer you to. And of course, you can come to my next workshop, which is at the end of this month, June 25th. There's a link in the chat for that. So I'm going to stop the share. For your audience to have full trust in you, not just to applaud and say, damn, you're good. And buy a copy of your autobiography for 99 cents. For them to see the real you, they need to hear real stories and see that gangster swagger. So whether you're on Park Avenue or whether you're in the streets of Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, no matter what your level of prestige, no matter what your level of professionalism, you always have the essence of who you are. You always keep that gangster walk. Back to you.
That
Wow.
was absolutely perfect. Thank you so much, Mike. Does we have time for some questions? Does anybody have a question? Ruben? Mm-hmm.
Mike, tell me this is material, okay? I was in, we were in college, a group of friends of mine, and we needed to pass this one class, statistics, in order to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the line. All these guys had different jobs or whatever. So he said, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We can't fail this class." So I said, "We got to come up with an idea." So I found out the teacher, he was having a birthday. So we brought a birthday cake in with candles lit into the class on his birthday.
Yeah.
Mike, all of us passed that class.
Nicely done.
Is that a story?
That's a great story. We can elevate that conflict a little bit, Ruben. But yes, a short story. Yes, that's awesome. What are we going to do? Have to pass statistics. There's the initial conflict. If we don't pass statistics, we're going to lose our jobs. Bad things are going to happen. There's the elevated conflict, and then the internal something. You know, is it really about statistics or is it really about relationships here? Does the teacher want us to pass the test or show him that we care? And that's when the birthday cake becomes a celebration. Of course, there's like a birthday statistic in there too. Even better. Love it. Great story.
Anybody else have a question they want to
Questions, comments, or anecdotes?
Yep.
I know for me, when I'm speaking, well, first of all, when I see a speaker stand up there and she's going on and on and on about her credentials, really can be a turnoff, like what Mike was saying. Definitely a turnoff. 60 seconds, that's not the same thing as what I'm talking about. But when I'm on stage, I do my absolute best to intertwine my story all throughout the talk. Okay. So you won't hear about my story in a nut, and to throw up on people right away. I just can't do that. So it's worked very, very well for me. So if you are speaking in a presentation, try to intertwine your message in there. And Mike, I loved what you said about the modest success, because the first thing that came to my mind was my story of being a pool hustler.
Yeah,
Always makes
exactly.
people.
See, that's so cool. Now, that is everything you say is something about. You say, let me tell you a little something about myself. Everything you say is a little something about yourself. You're a
Right.
pool hustler. Number one, it means you're good at geometry. You're good at reading people. You're good at playing the unassuming role. And to learn how to play pool, is chances are you done been through some stuff. You didn't learn billiards at some fancy academy, right? You learned to hustle pool doing some stuff that wherever you learn that, that's where your real story is. And that builds up the mystique. Where did she learn how to play pool anyway?
Yeah, great presentation, Mike, for being on the spot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. All right. I am going to share my screen, and I highly encourage you, if you need a speaking coach, or if you want to brush up your speaking, Mike always has workshops. And do you have one coming up that you want to share with everyone?
Funny you should ask, Angela. Now the premium, there's a registration link for the end of the month. Now my premium workshop is a 3-hour workshop. It's $47. That's coming up this coming Thursday. You get that. I got a few bonuses I'll throw in. And for this group, I'll throw in all the bonuses. So I'll put that here as well. And this will take you to my landing page. The second link will take you to the landing page. Find out more. So go for the freebie for an hour at the end of the month. $47 for 3 hours plus bonuses, and you get the extraordinary story session with me on top of that. All the goodies, and told that the value is just about $1,000. You get it for $47. Still room for you.
Awesome. All right. And I added a few people here, or a couple people here. Kurt, I've got you on here. And who else did I add?
Natalie.
Oh, that's the one I didn't get added yet. I'll work on that. So our inspirational thought that we're going to wrap up with is: we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated.
Amen.
And then we will stop sharing here. See if I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank our veterans, our military people, and our first responder veterans as well. And I want to thank everybody for being here in support of them as well. Do we have any announcements or reminders? Natalie?
I have mentioned before that once a month I have a functional medicine physician who does a wonderful webinar, and it will be the third Thursday at 8:30, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. And her subject this month is on like the precursors of cancer and how we can perhaps avoid it. She's very practical, very down to earth. If you'd like that, I have left my phone number and my email address in the chat. You can contact me, and I would be delighted to gift you a seat at the webinar.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing so if everybody wants to give a big smile and a wave.